Hello, hello, hello. My name is Natasha Nurse. I'm really excited to be here for the next Style for It live stream. We're talking all about building your inner confidence warrior. And so I'll give you a little bit of intro and then we'll dive deep into this subject, okay? So Style for It, what is that? That is the first ever online plus size consignment platform dedicated to sizes 12 to 32. Super exciting, super wonderful range for plus size women who are looking to do what? Buy clothing, sell clothing, connect with other like-minded plus size consumers, shoppers, leaders, bloggers, all of that jazz, guys. So if you are brand new to this concept of like consignment and you're plus size and you're like, what is that all about? I really do urge you to check out StyleForIt.com, and I will put that in the comments right now so you have that. And also, I encourage you to join the Facebook page, as this is on the Facebook page, so you definitely can just join the group that's available and then just like and share the page out. I think it's really great stuff that you will enjoy if you're plus size, if you like fashion, if you like talking about matters related to womanhood, style, lifestyle, career, all of that. So let me put that in for you, then we'll get started with more. All right, so that should be good. And who am I? My name is Natasha Nurse. I am not only the style ambassador for Style for It, but I'm also the owner and co-founder of Dressing Room Me, a coaching and consulting platform primarily focused on working with women who are dealing with innovation issues in their career, in their businesses, in their creative endeavors. So essentially, I do a lot of content development like this. I am a writer, I'm a blogger, I'm an influencer, I am a coach, I am just a woman on a mission to empower people to embrace social media, embrace entrepreneurship, embrace lifestyle techniques that really will make you more fulfilled and joyful in the life that you're living, because that is critical. And in addition to that, I would say, as someone who has a shop on Style for It and has shopped on Style for It, I have really enjoyed the experience of being able to get clothing at a discounted price point, which is phenomenal. And then also quality clothing. You know, if you want Michael Kors without Michael Kors pricing, hello. What are you waiting for? Go to StyleForIt.com, right? And then also, it's been really an honor and privilege working with the company for the past several months on creating content like this, because with Style for It, the founders really not only just interested in creating a space for women to be able to shop and get fashion that works for them and or sell fashion and make room in their closet, but also to have content out there that helps women in their lives, right? Because fashion is very much intertwined with the life that you're living and the confidence that you're developing for yourself. So with that, let's get started. So first and foremost, why is confidence important? A couple of reasons. I'm sure that you can put them in the comments, and if you feel like I missed anything, feel free. So there's an article on timemanagementninja.com, and the article is called 10 Reasons Why Confidence Leads to Success, right? So a couple of things that we can definitely talk about. Why is confidence important? Well, first, lack of confidence leads to inaction. So what does that mean? So if you're not feeling confident about decisions or things that you want to do in this world, are you really likely to write that book or start that business or start a family or go out on a blind date? No, right? Because lack of confidence means that you feel held back in some way or form. And so you're not really living the life that you really want for yourself. And that could be on a small scale, on a large scale. So that's I think a really important point to think about. When you are not confident, you are less likely to move forward with things in your life. That's hella important. That's hella scary, that people are allowing things like lack of confidence, like lack of self-esteem, like lack of self-love to move forward in their lives. That's super scary. So that's one thing. Next, confidence helps you stand up for yourself. So who has ever felt like they needed to stand up for themselves, either at their job, in their family, with their relationship? Right? We all have had moments in our lives where you needed to stand up for yourself. You needed to say no. You needed to demand something that you want or deserve, right? And that's important. The more confident you feel, the more likely you are going to stand up for yourself. You're going to demand what you need in life So that's super important. Next, confidence helps you have the ability to say no. Saying no is super important. It's a 2-letter word that too many people struggle with. You need to say no to negativity. You need to say no to toxicity. You need to say no to things that don't feed your mind, body, and soul, right? And if you are not feeling confident, what does that mean? You're not likely to say no. And that's really, really scary, because if you're unable to say no, what does that put you in? It puts you in a situation where you can be abused, where you can be taken advantage of, where you can feel like your needs are not being met. How scary of a place is that to be in? As a person, as a woman, right? We have to be able to say no. Have to be able to say no. So confidence allows you to easily say no. Super important, ladies and gentlemen, super important. Next, what would also be key that I saw in this article was you have the ability to say yes, right? So when you're not feeling confident, are you likely to step out, as people say, step out on faith and start something new in their life, pursue their passions, pursue things that they really want for themselves? No. Right? Because if you don't feel confident, what are you going to say? Well, I most likely won't be able to do this. This will not work out for me, right? All of the rationalizations that we say to ourselves to justify why we're not living the life that we want. So super, super important to think about the value of having confidence and what it means for pursuing your goals, your dreams, being able to move forward with things that you intend for yourself. Really, really important. Couple more things before we go on from this. So if you are confident, you have the ability to overcome fear. How many people live with fear, right? It's a natural human instinct. I was just at a program, shout out to Long Island Girl Talk, and Casey Erin Clark, a phenomenal speaker and speech coach and actress and performer, was saying that fear is the cost of admission for being a human being. Right? And if you think about that, I just love that phrase that she said. If you think about that, right? Who doesn't live with fear? If you're not living with fear, then one could question if you're really living, right? Because fear is a part of the human instinct to keep us alive in this world. So, I think, when people say, be fearless, it's not to say that you shouldn't have fear, but it's to overcome. It's to pass through those moments of uncomfortability, right? Because I think it's unrealistic for someone to say you shouldn't have fear. Of course, you're going to have fear. We all have fear. But how do we work through it? How do we create a system so that we can push past it, right? And confidence is a big part of helping you push past that fear wall that we all have. And we have different walls in our minds, in our lives, that we have to push and break through. So that's key. Next, if you're confident, you're going to believe in yourself. Super important, right? So I would call myself someone of an optimist. I would say I'd like to be positive thinking, positive forward thinking. And in my life, I definitely have had haters or negative people in my life tell me, oh, well, being positive, you can't ignore pragmatic realities, right? You can't put your head in the sand. I love the negativity that people are able to justify and rationalize in their mind when you're trying to enlighten them with positivity. Kills me every single time. I'm just like, good luck with that. You enjoy being a negative curmudgeon. Enjoy that. Right? And so if you are confident, you're more likely to believe in yourself and your ideas and the things that you want, so that you what? Keep moving forward, right? Who here remembers, the Finding Nemo, right? I know it's a little bit dated, but I love that movie, right? Because of the scene where it's like, keep swimming, keep moving forward, right? Keep swimming. We've got to keep moving forward. That is a quintessential part of living. It's a quintessential part of success. And whatever you define success for you to be, most people want to be somewhat successful, right, in their life. So how can we do this? Be confident. Right? Love yourself. Be you and enjoy the wonder and glory of you in all of your mess that is you, right? Because we all have a lot of fears. Like I was saying, we all have things that we're not necessarily sure about. We got to push past and acknowledge it's amazing. Who I am is a walking, talking masterpiece. Who you are is a walking, talking masterpiece. There's only one of you. You got to celebrate and be confident in that fact, in that knowledge. And then lastly, and I thought this was fun from the article, if you're confident, you believe in winning. And that's super important, right? Because we have to believe that we can win. We have to believe that we can move forward, that we can actually start that business, that we can actually write that book, that we can actually go on that book tour, that we can actually start a TV show, that we can actually achieve that job and get that job that we really want, right? We have to believe in the wins. And the wins, they can be small wins, they can be big wins, whatever. You've got to believe that you can win. I call waking up like a win, a victory, because it's a blessing. Nothing is guaranteed, right? We can all drop dead any moment in our lives. So anytime that you continue to live and another year passes and another anniversary passes, these are all wins. These are all victories. So confidence is not only important, it is quintessential. I like to say confidence is a must. It's a mandatory part of living. It's not optional. And sometimes people or society or media will make you think that, will make you question yourself and make you think, oh, well, am I good enough? Listen, you are a walking, talking masterpiece. Don't forget it. All right. So what are some of the main reasons why people lack confidence, driving forces against self-esteem or confidence? Let's go through that. So Bustle has a really great article and it's called What Lowers Self-Esteem. I think it was published like last year, obviously on bustle.com. And a couple of factors that I thought would be helpful to talk about in conjunction with this conversation. So first, poorly defined boundaries. Who here would say they have good boundaries set with most people, or if not all people in their life? I've had conversations, I've had people fall out of my life literally because I've recognized that I did not have defined boundaries enough, right? People feel sometimes that they can say and do anything against you, and that is not true, right? That's not healthy. We have to have healthy boundaries with friends, with family members, with coworkers, with superiors, with business partners, with spouses, right? With significant others. We've got to have healthy boundaries so that what? People understand how you want to be spoken to, how you want to be treated. And if you are expecting for other people to define those boundaries for you, that will be a weight in hell for a very long time. You've got to be your best advocate, is like what I like to say. And you've got to understand that you are in control of how the world should treat you. Meaning you have to teach people that. How? Through verbalization. You've got to tell people. So when people have said things to me, I have turned back around and said, you know what? I understand your point of view, but you do not need to say this to me this way. You do not need to speak to me this way. I would not like for you to say these things to me, right? Same thing with physically. If people are constantly doing things to you physically that you do not like, either touching you or pushing you, right? If there's some people deal with abuse on a daily basis, right? The whole gamut of abuse, whether it's verbal, mental, or physical. You have got to push back and say, no, this is not acceptable. If you do not stop doing this, we cannot have a relationship. We cannot speak, right? These are things that is you are in charge of having to put out in the world. You cannot expect other people to push you and then be like, oh, was that okay? Like, it doesn't work that way. They're just going to keep pushing. They're going to push and hurt and abuse, because sometimes that is human nature. It can be very beautiful and it can also be very ugly. So for those of us that struggle with those inner demons and are more likely to be abusers in life, listen, we've got to have these conversations. And no, they're not easy conversations, but they're necessary. They're necessary for you to choose you in your life. And if you're not choosing you all the time, then who are you living for? That's what I like to pose to people, because if you need XYZ and you're not getting XYZ, whose fault is that? Whose fault is that? Right? We can't be victims. We can't blame. Oh, well, if only. No, but if only you stood up for yourself, if only you set up healthy boundaries, maybe people would be treating you and speaking to you differently, right? Important things. Now, another thing that lowers self-esteem and confidence, right, would be being harsh with yourself. So who here has said negative things about yourself? Right? Who here have said things like, oh, I feel fat. I feel ugly. I feel Not capable. Oh, I'm so stupid. I'm a stupid woman, right? I've heard that in movies. And movies I do deeply love, but that phrase, I'm a stupid woman. Terrible. Terrible for your self-esteem. Terrible for your confidence. Terrible for your level of competency, right? There's nothing stupid about you. Yeah, you might be a woman, but you are capable of thoughts. You are capable of making decisions, right? Things like that we have to stop saying. Right? And there's so many other things that can come to mind that I'm sure you've said something harsh to yourself today, right? It's super easy to be negative because we are hardwired to do it. So a part of when we wonder why we don't have confidence is, well, how are you speaking to yourself? Right? How are you speaking ill will of yourself? And why are you doing that? And diving deep into that. So some of us have grown up with people who have said things like, I definitely remember in my household, people saying negative things about themselves. And then that had an effect on me, right? So when I saw that, it was kind of like the okay to say that about me, right? Because if your own mother or your own, family members are saying this and that you respect who they are and you respect the level of, I guess kind of importance that they have in their lives. Well, if they're doing it, then it's the checkoff, right? And that's not okay. So that's why when speaking with mothers, I really always love to express the idea that like, hey moms, remember what you say is heard. Remember what you do is seen, right? And the idea, that notion of do what I say, not do what I do, doesn't apply. Kids will see what you do. Kids will hear what you do, what you say, and they will what? Replicate. So if you want better behaviors, if you want children to be better, then you've got to be better for them. Right? Next, hanging around toxic people. This is like number one with a bullet for why people don't feel confident. I had some people in my life and people that, that I work with or people that I have deemed like friends or family. And I've had to literally either eliminate conversations with them or deeply reduce the conversation with them because they were so negative. It was literally making me feel suffocated. So if you too have people in your life that the minute you spend time with them, you feel less than, the minute you spend time with them, you start to question yourself, your ideas, your beliefs, who you are. That is a clear red flag that this person is not only toxic to probably themselves, but to you. And so again, boundaries, right? Are you expecting the toxic person to talk to you and say, oh, is my toxicity too much for you? Not going to happen, boom, boom. Not going to happen. Misery loves company. So you have got to identify when the person is out of line, when the person is out of control, and you've got to cut it off. Cut it off at its knees, man. You gotta, nope, right? If that person wants to be toxic and you want to address the toxicity to them, you're absolutely welcome to do that. But at the end of the day, you just got to make sure that you have eliminated and limited the amount of toxicity you have in your life, right? And some people you may not feel comfortable totally eliminating, right? Maybe it's a parent and you feel like, oh, wow, well, they're super toxic, but I still want to have a relationship with that person. Again, own that you are engaging and involving toxicity in your life. But what can you do? You can limit, right? Maybe you don't see them as much. Maybe you don't talk to them as much. They're still in your life, but you're limiting the toxicity because you're choosing you. Choosing you is a must. Must if you're trying to live authentically in a way that makes you happiest at as many times and as much as possible, right? Because otherwise, who are you living for? You're living for the toxic people in your life? Good luck with that, boom, boom. Good luck. Next, and I thought this was an interesting point, avoiding risky situations. So if you're not feeling confident, are you likely to take a risk? Probably not. And as they say, big risk comes big reward, right? And these are just kind of classic signature phrases. You have to kind of dive deep and look a little bit more into your situations and figure out what type of risks are appropriate, right? Does investments make sense for you? Does this decision make sense for you? Like all of that good stuff. You have to make those decisions. You can speak to professionals who can give you their context and their advice to help you make these decisions. But ultimately, thinking about how confidence even affects your financial state of affairs, right? Super important, right? If you're interested in having a certain lifestyle for yourself, making a certain amount of money, confidence is a part of that conversation. Just saying. Also, a couple more points, comparing yourself to others, that's a really easy way to not feel confident, right? If you looked around and saw some of the most quote unquote beautiful women in the world, right? If you don't look like them, then what are you going to say? Oh, well, I'm not pretty because I don't look like XYZ. Okay, those XYZ people might be beautiful, might be stunning, but it is not okay to say that you're not beautiful, that you're not fabulous, that you're not amazing because you don't look like someone else. Are you here to be a copy of someone else? I don't think so. You're here to be your best self, right? So as much as you may love the Beyoncés, the Kerry Washingtons, the, oh gosh, so many beautiful women, Halle Berry's, there's so many beautiful celebrities and women. Tessa Thompson, love her. But at the end of the day, you have to look at yourself in the mirror and you have to see the beauty that you have, the amazement that is you. You are not here to be a copy of anyone else. That would be a very weird world to live in, right? Because otherwise, if we were supposed to be Beyonce, if we were supposed to be all these different people, then why wouldn't we just come out that way? We come out looking how we look because we're supposed to look different. And that's just kind of the facts of life that we have to accept and apply. So now this is I hope the point where you are like, all right, Tasha, I feel you. I'm getting you. All right. Now it's time for you to take some notes because I really want to make sure that you are this is hammering home for you. So we talked about why is confidence important. We talked about some of the ways that people don't feel confident or don't feel kind of empowered in their lives and what's the driving forces there. Next, what do we need to do? We need to create a confidence regiment for ourselves that we can apply every single day. You understand? Every single day. Because confidence, you should think of confidence as like a muscle, right? And so when people say work out, go to the gym, right? Why are they saying that? They're saying that because there's a value, right? There's scientific evidence or theories out there that suggest, I'm not like a nutritionist or a physical fitness person, but there's science that suggests that walking a certain amount every day, exercising and moving your body is helpful more than is hurtful, right? On average, right? Every person's situation is different, but on average, if you physically can, then you should do something to move your body, whether it's your upper body, lower body, both parts of your body. And so confidence, like anything else, is a journey and it's a muscle that you must exercise every single day if you want to be more confident on a daily basis. Then you have to do things to be more confident, right? So first and foremost, and this is a kicker that I never really quite understand. I'm hoping that I can continue to speak with more people who can give me their context and their personal stories. But there are people in this world who have told me they don't know what they love, that they don't have any passions, that they don't know what makes them feel good. And this breaks my heart because I just think a part of living and like authentically living in your truth, in your glory, is about embracing who you are. And that includes your passions. That includes things that make you feel good and make you feel amazing, right? So if you are a person like this, that's okay, right? That's okay. That's you. So you gotta accept who the hell you are in this world. But I then encourage you to go on a self-discovery journey then. If you cannot, in the next 5 minutes, identify things that you love, things that make you feel empowered, then it is up to you to sit down with self and say, hey girl, hey guy, hey, they, whatever pronoun you use to apply to yourself, and take the time to go on a journey with yourself and figure out what do you love. And so what do I mean by that, right? Tasha, what do you mean by that? Okay, so if you like reading, then that would go down on your list of like, I like reading. But if you don't know if you like reading, then what would you do? We're in a new week. You can now what? Pick up a book, either physical book, Kindle book, iPad, whatever, and start to read every day, 15 minutes a day. Everybody can read 15 minutes a day. You go to the bathroom every day, you have time to bloody well read. So don't go down that route of, I don't have time. You always have time. It's how you use your time. We always have the time. So start reading, and as you read every day, do you like it? Do you not like it? Talk to self. Identify if this is something you like. I also am like an artistic person, right? So I like to draw, I like coloring, I like stickers and all of that, like just girly fun, like you know, like if you like lanyard, like I love arts and crafts, like those are things that like really make me excited. And I wish I actually like prioritized it more, because it really does make me feel just like so excited. I have like 25,000 coloring books to go through. But that's me, right? Because I've done it, and I feel a sense of calmness that comes over my body. I feel a sense of accomplishment when I finish my images and I'm like, oh, look what I did, right? So that's something I love. So if that's something that would be new to you and you're like, I don't know if I like coloring, I don't know if I like sticker books, I don't, you know, things like that, then what do? You pick it up, you spend time every week and you do it. And after like 30 days, essentially give yourself a month so that you have like a good time frame, and explore things every week, right? Do 1 or 2 things every week. And then at the end of those 30 days, have a defined list for yourself. And again, this is a list at this time in your life. Every season, every part of your life is going to be different wherever you are now, right? I'm in my 30s. So there's certain things that I love in my 30s, things that I didn't know I loved in my 20s that I've now added to my list because I'm older, and there are things that I love. Create a defined list for this stage in your life, and every year, try to add to that list. Try to discover more about yourself so that you know what you like. And then what are you going to do? Once you have at least 3 to 4 things that you've identified that you love, so to kind of make it tangible for you, I love reading, I love music, I love singing, I love dancing, I love arts and crafts, I love business and talking about how to succeed in business, how to succeed in marketing, how to succeed in social media. So I love absorbing content. I love talking about spirituality and like spiritual growth and stuff like that. Like, so those are things that I consume content in. So what I do is every single day or every single week, I engage in the things that I love. So every day I'm definitely reading. Every day I'm definitely writing. I love writing. Every day I'm definitely trying to think about business, think about, you know, consuming content about business, marketing, social media, things like that, right? So I invoke that on a daily basis, but figure out based on your schedule, based on the time that you feel like you can put towards this, and do it, boom, boom, just do it, right? So that's the first step of your confidence regiment that you have to implore every single day. Figuring out what you love. And again, it might take you 30 days to kind of figure out that list for yourself. But then once you're there, then we can start in application mode, right? And it's going to probably be good, very, very good for you to like have just a self-discovery period. If you've never done that for yourself, that's like a really exciting thing to do. And I think the more that once you do it, you'll start to see, wow, every month I actually do want to explore something, right? I might take up that painting class. I might take up that skiing class, right? Things that you'll start to do on a monthly basis to just discover time with you. Just like, hey, self, how are you? I like you, boo, right? Like all of that good stuff. All right. Then next, critical. And this is something you may do on a daily basis. This might be something you do on a weekly basis or a monthly basis. We've got to shut down the inner hater. So who do I mean by that? You know that person inside of you when you, and we all have it. I have it. And there's certain things that she will say to me on certain things that I may not be confident or I might be more hesitant about, right? And so the inner hater that I'm referring to is the person where when you have an idea and you're like, ooh, I want to do X, Y, Z, right? And then that person in your head that says, oh, you can't do that. Or, well, have you thought about the logistics? Or, well, is this going to work? Or, well, who's going to support me? Do I have enough money for this? Can I really do this, right? All of those questions of the what ifs, things that start to kind of roll out and you're just like, ugh. And then instead of thinking about what you want to do and how to make it work, you're thinking about all the ways it will fail, all the ways it won't work. That inner person, that inner demon that we need to slay. We need to slay. And sometimes you have to slay her or him or they multiple times in a day, multiple times in a week. You got to keep that battle going, that inner, right? And so the minute I hear that, I say stop and I say, this will work. Let me figure out how I can make this work, but this will work. And I just stop myself from that. So you have to identify, you have to at least get real with yourself because you have that person, whether you want to acknowledge it or not, you have that inner you can't do it, you're gonna struggle, all that crap that comes out of that person's mouth, and you have to stop yourself. So you can say stop, you can totally do that. You can figure out a word that, or a mantra that you want to say, but you got to change the path. You got to change the narrative. The minute that that inner voice is speaking to you, switch is key. All right. Also, I find daily consumption of positivity is really helpful for building confidence. So for me, things that I have been not confident in my life about, so they're, growing up being bigger, not necessarily being confident in how I look, not being confident in the things that I said or did, all of those things that we all have those sad stories, right? Oh, damn it, this happened, right? So by consuming positivity, you spend less time allowing or entertaining negativity. It's kind of a math equation, right? More plus is less negative. So for me, the positivity are definitely mantras. I love mantras. There's cards. I'm happy to recommend things if you're looking for that. I have a little calendar thing that I have to read every day. That's by Jen Sincero. I love her. You are a badass. Kind of, she's the leader of that. You're a badass every day. You're a badass at making money. You're just a badass. She has that movement. So I love her content, but there's so much out there. But the point is you have to consume it on a daily basis, guys. Next, I find confidence is a really good thing to build out of your passions, right? So if you love to draw, if you love taking pictures, if you love modeling, whatever you love to do, if you're actively working on these passions, the more confident you'll feel because you'll have accomplishments that come attached to these passions that you're working on. Whether you say you're modeling and you're a new model in this game, when you get to do new fashion shows, when you get to work with certain designers, you start to feel a certain level of achievement on the inside. And that gives you more confidence. It's your little confidence engine starts to fill up a little bit more. And you're like, okay, I did that. Yes, you did. Right? So those are things that I really suggest that you work on. And that might, like I said, might be a daily activity for you. It might be a weekly activity. It might be a monthly activity. It's all going to be contingent on how much time you want to dedicate towards this. But again, if you want to be more confident, then who's going to make that happen? Is it going to be me? Nope. It's going to be you, baby. It's got to be you. So you've got to own this process. I'm here to help, right? And hopefully by this video, you feel encouraged and motivated and activated to actually do shit and get shit done. But you have got to put it in place. That's what's key about life. You have to take action. So what I like to say is intention is everything, right? Like that's been said by Jim Carrey. Love him. But intention without action is what, right? Just intention. And what happens with intention? You can have the best intentions in the world. If you're not willing to do anything about it, are you going to actually get far with things? Nope. Simply no. The answer is no. So intention and action, intention and action. And so that's when you kind of start to think about how you're living your life on a daily, weekly, monthly, annual basis, right? Intention. What was my intention for today? What were the things I wanted to do? How am I building my confidence warrior? And then actually doing stuff. It's quite magical that way, how that works out. Next, we can't forget about the fashion, right? I think that's why I wanted to talk about this, especially with the StyleForIt platform, right? So again, StyleForIt, they offer new and gently used clothing for sizes 12 to 32. And it is amazing because it's the first ever online plus size consignment dedicated to that, right? It's not like eBay where you have to like sift through and is this really plus size or is it, said it's plus size from another country, right? Like this whole platform is dedicated to plus size women. So all curvy shoppers, come on in and know that no matter what, you're in a space just for us, which is super empowering in and of itself. Then secondly, you have the opportunity to spend some cash and get some really great clothing at a discounted price because that's the beauty of consignment. But then secondly, you can also make money by clothing that you already have in your closet. Hello? Like as if, right? Like, yes, you can. Like, it's a clueless, phenomenal moment right there. Like, yes. Get the stuff out of your closet, make room for things that you really need, make room for things that you already have and you don't know, and make some money, right? It's super simple. That's super simple math. Like, I want money. I have clothes to sell. I'm plus size. Okay. I think I know where you need to go. StyleForIt.com. Good stuff. So with clothes, my mention to clothes is that, you know, a lot of people, and whether you're a woman, and this applies whether you're a woman or a man, actually, if you want to feel more confident in yourself, in your life, then your fashion is going to be a part of it, right? Like, I wear accessories a lot, or, you know, I'll wear like fun headbands or like a fun, you know, ring or necklace and stuff like that. I love my makeup because these are things, these are power moves for me that I can do physically that make me feel powerful and capable, right? So I'm not just doing it for kicks and giggles, as I'm sure you do the same. We all have our own little things that we do, but especially when you wear clothing that feels good on your body, that really accentuates your shape, all you're doing is building that inner confidence warrior. She or he or they are gonna come out and they're like, okay, right? And so when you're going into that meeting, when you're going in for that job interview, when you're just trying to have that sense of signature style, your fashion is a big part of that. So you've got to remember that. That can't ever like leave the realm of considerations for yourself, because fashion is important. What do people do? The first time they see you, you only have one opportunity to make a first impression. So you got to make it great, and that's up to you. And then secondly, if you're trying to own the presentation of who you are in this world and that physical branding of who you are, when they expect to see you, what should they expect to see? Your fashion is a big part of it. And I'm not talking about just brands, right? Like, oh, I only got to wear it. It's not about brands. It's about how the clothing fits you. It's about the type of clothing that you're wearing. It's about the type of colors that you're wearing to help you feel as amazing and glorious as you are. So you can't forget about the fashion. That is key. If you want more confidence, confidence is from the inside, but what you can do on the outside is to accentuate the how you look, so that the inner confidence that you're looking to build can shine through, so that you have a sense of comfortability to let that confidence warrior out and shine. That's what we're talking about when it comes to fashion. I would never say like, oh, wear a great outfit and then all of a sudden you're really confident. No, wearing the great outfit, the outfit that fits you well, that works for your budget, allows you to feel comfortable to let that inner confidence warrior out and shine in those meetings, in the interviews, in those business deals, right? That's how the fashion works in. That's how it ties in. All right. Next couple of things, and I think we talked about this earlier, but again, how easy is it to say something negative about yourself, right? Super easy. How easy is it to say good things about yourself? So I'll do an example. Say good things about yourself as a part of how you can build your inner confidence warrior daily. So for me, I would say, I'm going to say like 3 nice things about myself. And I hope that you can say 3 things nice about yourself as well while I say mine. Number 1, I like how passionate I am. I'm deeply passionate, and I love so many different things, and it makes for a richer, cooler existence. I love how much I care for my loved ones and how ferocious I am about my small group of people that I love and care about, right? And I love the ability I have to accessorize. I love my styling. I love that I'm able to create outfits that work well for my shape, as well as presenting the image that I want of myself, right? Those are 3 things that I love about me today. So those are things that I can say about me on the spot, didn't write that down, totally just came up with that. What are 3 things that you can say about you that you love about yourself? And if you can't, add that to your self-discovery period that we talked about figuring out things that you love. That it has to be, again, what are things that you love? But then also, if you can't say things that you love about yourself, then you've got to have either added in that time period or another time period as well, that you've got to be able to say 3 things you love about yourself every single day. It could be the same things, but you should be able to say different things every single day, because you are amazing, point blank, period. Like, just you are. It's a fact. It's not a question mark or like a theory. Nope. It's just a fact. Every single one of us is amazing. Every single one of us is special, right? And how cool of a world is that we all are special, that we all have something unique and amazing about us. But you've got to be able to identify that, because when you do, your inner confidence warrior is like, oh, it is on and popping. You know what time it is? It is time to be confident and amazing. Hey, the party begins the minute that you do this, right? And then the last thing I would say when it comes to your confidence regiment, celebrating your victories. Hello, we woke up today. Woo woo. I showered, woo, victories. I'm about to eat lunch, woo, right? Like all of these really cool things. So you've got to make sure that you are able to do that. And now quickly, because we are a little bit over, but I do want to make sure I hit this topic for you. Handling haters, right? This is a hard subject. And if you want more content around that, you just got to put that in the comments. Hey, Natasha, I'd love for you to talk about this more, right? These are content ideas that I'd love to hear. What do you need? What would you like for me to talk about so I can add that to the schedule, right? Handling haters. Number one, setting boundaries, verbally, physically, mentally. Set boundaries with these folks. We talked about eliminating time with them, right? Making sure that we limit and or eliminate the time with these haters. And also working on reading people. I think that's really been key for me. Listening to people, asking critical questions, and starting to understand, oh, I see what type of person you are. I see what type of things are important to you. I see the type of verbiage that comes out of your mouth. That it will either work for you or it will not. But the more that you start to observe, the more that you start to be critical and understand what is this person about, is how you will understand if they're a hater, whether they're toxic or not, right? Simply. And then lastly, standing up for yourself, right? When we got haters, we gotta shut the shit down, right? So some people like to block people online. Some people like to engage with them. My whole thing is just stand up for yourself when you feel like you need to, right? When you feel disrespected, when you feel like this is not appropriate, it's up to you to stand up for yourself, right? So that's just quickly that. And then lastly, to wrap things up, you know, we talked about why confidence is important. This is a personal and professional gain that you're going to get from this, ladies and gentlemen. Like you, the more that you work on this, the more that you focus on this, the happier you will be, the more thankful you will be, the more successful you'll be. So if those are things that are important to you, joy and happiness and success, hello. Welcome to the Confidence Journey 101 that begins today. And you will actively do this because you are worth it. You are always worth it. You always have to choose you in your life. Choose you. Choose you. Okay. Next, I think what I would love for you to do is if you have follow-up questions, if you have thoughts about this and you're like, I'd love for you to talk a little bit more about this, or I don't understand what you mean by this, please put that in the comments so that I can come back and I can reiterate or I can share and expand. And if you want to have another conversation about this, put it in the comments. Just let me know. All right. Because as the ambassador, it's my role to make sure that I'm giving and delivering content to you that really works for you, as well as helping you understand more about the StyleForIt platform. Right. And we talked about it. StyleForIt. It's not just a place to buy, sell clothing for sizes 12 to 32. Hello. Amazing. StyleForIt.com. But also it's a community. And we're really working on building a space where women can feel comfortable to also talk about things like this. Right. Because this isn't an easy topic. This isn't, easy to do this. And like, for instance, there was a time in my life that I wasn't really comfortable just showing like my plaits, my like fake braids, because I just was told that that's not just what you do. But I've been doing more videos like this and it's making me feel more confident because, I like, sometimes on the weekends, right, I have my hair up and that's just kind of, what I do. And you have to be confident in any stage that you are. You can't say I can only be confident if I look this one way, because maybe you can't look that one way anymore, right? When you're 20 and you're now 60, you don't look like you were 20. So what, you can never be confident because you're not 20 anymore? Bull, right? Like you've got to learn that confidence has many different shapes to it, has many different sizes to it, has, same thing. You used to be a size 2, now you're size 12. Oh, but you don't feel confident? Listen, you've got to be confident in your present state. So that's why I've been doing this, and it forces me to be more confident and more creative about how I put myself together and how I appear in this world. And it's really been a joy. It's really been exciting, and I'm really enjoying this experience. So there are things we all have to work on when it comes to this confidence inside warrior that we're building her, and she's like flexing those muscles, right? She's yeah, let's do this, right? And next, if you want to learn more about StyleForIt, please go to StyleForIt.com. Like I said, I think you'll really be excited. Plus size women, sizes 12 to 32. Buy clothes, sell clothes, make money, join a community. It's all about just not only fashion, but also how do we just live better, happier lives, right? It's such a cool platform. And then lastly, if you want to connect with me and you're like, I have a question for you, hit me up, dressingroom8.com. You can always find me there. You can also email me, Natasha at dressingroom8.com. But if I'll put my stuff in here so that you can connect with me. And, you know, with that, I just want to thank you for everyone who joined. I want to thank you for your time. Your time is always appreciated and never taken for granted. It is a glory that you have given me your time and attention to this. And with that, I just wish you an amazing rest of your day, and stay tuned for all upcoming videos, and talk to you soon. All right. Bye.